The $4.99 rotisserie chicken at Costco is more than just a convenient dinner. It is a cult phenomenon. In an era where inflation has driven the cost of nearly every grocery staple to record highs, this golden brown bird has remained at the same price since 2009. However, the $5 price tag is a carefully calculated illusion. To maintain this deal, Costco has had to industrialize its supply chain to a degree that most consumers would find staggering. This list exposes the hidden costs behind the world's most famous bird. 1. The loss leader strategy. The primary reason the chicken is $5 is that it acts as a high-protein anchor for your shopping trip. Costco knows that if you come in for a chicken, you are almost guaranteed to leave with a cart full of other items. Because the rotisserie chickens are located at the very back of the warehouse, you are forced to walk past thousands of feet of enticing bulk products. This is a psychological trap. By the time you reach the chicken, you've likely picked up a 3-pack of paper towels, a giant tub of hummus, and perhaps a new pair of wool socks. The savings you feel from the $5 bird are quickly offset by the $200 you spend on other high-margin goods. The chicken is essentially a marketing expense for Costco, a way to ensure frequent foot traffic and to maintain the perceived value of the $60 to $120 annual membership fee. You aren't just buying a chicken, you are buying into the Costco ecosystem. 2. Vertical integration, owning the bird. To keep costs at rock bottom, Costco did something unprecedented for a retailer. They built their own massive poultry complex. In 2019, they opened a $450 million facility in Fremont, Nebraska, which processes roughly 2 million chickens every single week. By owning the entire process, from the hatchery to the feed mill to the processing plant, they have eliminated the middleman. This vertical integration allows Costco to control every cent of the production cost. They dictate the genetics of the birds, the composition of the feed, and the speed of the processing line. While this keeps the price at $5, it also means Costco has a vested interest in the most efficient and often most intense farming methods possible. They aren't just a buyer of chicken anymore. They are one of the largest poultry producers in the country, and their priority is the bottom line of that $4.99 price point. 3. The Frankenbird genetics. The chickens you buy at Costco are not your grandmother's backyard hens. They are specifically bred to grow at an alarmingly fast rate. In the 1920s, it took 112 days to raise a chicken to market weight. Today, through selective breeding and optimized feed, it takes only 47 days. These birds are bred for massive breast meat, which is what American consumers crave. However, this rapid growth comes at a biological cost. These broiler chickens often grow so fast that their legs cannot support their own weight, leading to mobility issues and heart failure. What Costco doesn't tell you is that the $5 chicken is a product of genetic engineering focused entirely on volume and speed. The birds are essentially meat machines designed to reach a specific weight within a precise window of time to keep the rotisserie ovens turning at maximum capacity. This intensity is the only way to sustain the volume required for nationwide distribution at such a low price. 4. Hidden chemical additives. While the label might say rotisserie chicken, the ingredient list is more complex than you might expect. To ensure the meat stays moist under the harsh heat of a rotisserie oven for hours, Costco injects the chickens with a saline solution. This brining process adds weight and flavor, but it also significantly increases the sodium content. A single 3-ounce serving can contain nearly 460 milligrams of sodium, about 20% of your daily recommended limit. The solution also contains carrageenan, a seaweed-derived thickener used to maintain the chicken's texture and prevent it from drying out. While the FDA considers it safe, some studies have linked carrageenan to intestinal inflammation and gut microbiome disruption. You are paying for a convenient meal, but you are also consuming a cocktail of salt, sugar, and industrial thickeners designed to give the illusion of freshness in a product that may have been sitting in a heated plastic container for hours. It is a manufactured moisture that hides the lower quality of fast-grown poultry. 5. The environmental toll of the Nebraska complex. Costco's Nebraska chicken plant has been a source of significant environmental controversy. The massive scale of the operation produces an incredible amount of nitrogen and phosphorus runoff from chicken manure, which can leach into local groundwater and nearby waterways. High levels of these nutrients lead to algae blooms that choke out aquatic life and can contaminate drinking water for local residents. The cheap price of the chicken does not account for the environmental externalities of the processing plant. While Costco saves money on the bird, the local community pays the price in potential water contamination and air quality issues. The concentrated nature of these factory farms creates a waste problem that nature cannot manage on its own. When you pay $5, you are benefiting from a system that pushes the environmental cleanup costs onto the taxpayers and residents of the regions where these chickens are raised and slaughtered. 6. Exploitation of the contract farmer. Costco's vertical integration model relies on contract farmers to raise the birds. While Costco owns the chickens and the feed, the farmers are responsible for building the massive, climate-controlled barns, which often cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Farmers are then paid based on their efficiency, creating a tournament system where they are pitted against one another to produce the heaviest birds with the least amount of feed. This system creates a state of debt bondage. Farmers are locked into long-term contracts to pay off the loans for the barns, while Costco maintains the power to cancel contracts at any time. If a farmer raises concerns about bird welfare or environmental standards, they risk losing their livelihood. What Costco doesn't tell you is that the $4.99 price point is supported by a labor model that shifts the financial risk onto individual farmers while the corporation reaps the rewards of the loss leader, foot traffic. 7. Animal welfare concerns. In 2021 and 2022, undercover investigations by animal rights groups exposed the grim reality inside some of Costco's supplier barns. The footage showed thousands of birds crowded together in dimly lit, ammonia-filled environments, many unable to walk due to their rapid growth. Because the birds are so densely packed, they often live in their own waste, leading to feather loss and skin sores. Costco has been slower than competitors like Whole Foods or even Sprouts to adopt higher animal welfare standards, such as the Global Animal Partnership (GAP) requirements. These standards would require slower-growing breeds and more space, but they would also make it impossible to sell a chicken for $5. To maintain that iconic price, Costco continues to utilize high-density, fast-growth methods that prioritize volume over the well-being of the animals. The $5 bird is a product of an uncompromising factory mindset where the life of the animal is reduced to a cost-per-pound calculation. 8. The nutritional trade-off. Most people buy Costco's chicken as a healthy alternative to fast food. While it is certainly better than a deep-fried burger, it is not as clean as a chicken you would roast at home. Beyond the high sodium and carrageenan, the chickens are often roasted in oils that contain GMO soy lecithin and other emulsifiers. The skin, while delicious, is the primary site of concentrated fat and salt, and it can also contain traces of the synthetic hormones and antibiotics used in the industrial supply chain. Furthermore, the high-heat roasting and subsequent storage in plastic containers can lead to the formation of heterocyclic amines, HCAs, compounds that are linked to an increased risk of cancer. The convenience of the pre-cooked bird means you are foregoing the control over ingredients that home cooking provides. When you eat a $5 chicken, you are consuming a product designed for shelf stability and craveability through salt and fat, rather than pure nutritional density. It is a metabolic trade-off for a busy lifestyle.